What is going on, everybody? Good evening. All right. Welcome to the Friday night in the house here. Peace of Mind. Noah. Longlegs. Jay Martin. Blockhead. Ava. Monks. Assault. B-Code. Crystal, Boss 9 Millie, Barnabas, Soul Foundry, Silo, Craig, JB, Outlaw in the house. Thank you for the diamond. Mike, L-Dub, Judge Britt, everybody, Doze. Good to see everybody here. Jake Jackman in the house. Suze MC, John David, AC, Daniel, Lorena, Kevin Brock in the house. Cinematic dropping the Ninja Guinea. Shout outs to Big E Mullins. Oh, Big E. Ryder. Real Cat. Jimmy. The Wilson Project. Civilid. Everybody out there, I hope you guys have had a good week. I hope you're doing okay here this evening. All right. So, first off, I want to thank everybody out there that shares all these streams. Normally, they send out this thing called a notification. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. You don't see much of them these days. To my bewilderment, they're not even kicking them out on D Live. So I had to post one myself. Anytime you see it say on Twitter, I'm live, I drop that. It means, not only did the notification not get kicked out, I mean, it's not getting delivered to the platforms. So, when you guys share it, it helps big time. I appreciate it to the fullest. Can't stress it enough. Oh, by the way, for everybody that may not stick around for the whole stream or whatnot, I'll say it now. I will be live tomorrow from the streets of Louisville, Kentucky, covering what's being dubbed as a formation and march by the NFAC. This is going to be going down at around noon. So you know, I will be there. When you're hearing talk of this here and there tomorrow, and you will, my stream will be on D Live. It will not be on YouTube, simply because anyone could go rolling by, bumping some Tupac, and it'll catch me a copyright strike. And I ain't having it. I ain't dealing with the headache. It's ridiculous. It's pathetic. And it's something that they could easily fix. You don't have that problem on D Live. And thank you, Vegas Blaze, for the Ninja Guinea. Everyone out there that's dropped some donations over on YouTube, it's appreciated. And anyone that's helping out with the trip, gas money, and all that. There's been a couple people hit up the PayPal. I appreciate that. The PayPal is what I go to when I hit the road for quick times, gas money, hotels, and stuff like that. So I appreciate it. Those of you that do hit the PayPal. Helps me get other guys down here in motion as well. And I look to have Hoodie Ross with me in the streets running Louisville. And I'll tear into that later. So you know, that will be live streamed exclusively on D Live tomorrow around noon. Okay, as you can see here, Americans buying up guns in record numbers. And the Washington Post is not pleased. Washington Post, Bezos and company, world's richest man. All these people are trying to control us. Gates, Bezos, all these fools. They have nothing better to do when you have become the world's most richest, so-called powerful men. The only other power left is how much of the world do you really control? How much influence do you really have? And when you're controlling different aspects of people's lives in major ways, this is going to have an effect on your power. Now, Gates has set up computers that we all use en masse around the globe. Gaming systems like Xboxes and everything else out there that is tied into his Microsoft. Okay? You look at someone like Bezos. Bezos has Amazon, which everyone and their mama goes online and is ordering through. Everybody, all these people, he's controlling all that, controlling the flow. What ultimately can and cannot be sold. When they say, oh, we're not going to sell that, we're not going to ship that. They control that narrative. They control all that. Okay? Then you get someone like Bezos that buys something like the Washington Post. And you want to talk about control. Now they're controlling you from all angles. Controlling what you can buy and what you can do here. Then when you go to the news, they're controlling everything that you consume and you take in. And you don't think that that's a conflict of interest? Because I do. It's just the massive sheep don't see it. Once you awaken to this, you see we're getting played. We're getting played big time. Yeah, so it's more than just those two, but when he says he's not pleased, or the Washington Post is not pleased because Americans are buying guns, they can kiss off. And that's all I got to say about that. It's your right, and he don't like it, because at the end of the day, he has a plan to super control people, more so than anyone. And to do that, they got to disarm them. Don't you ever forget that. Okay, so to keep your guns is everything. The whole world's watching. More than just that. More than just the physical. We're in a time, you can feel it in the air. Things are getting tense. And it looks like they're going to push this whole thing, as would be expected here. It's going to be full of all kinds of different theatrics. It's going to be multifaceted. It's going to be having different avenues thrown at us. This whole thing we're living through right now, throw on top of it that they start to release that something's happening. That something potentially could be out there. Here, already. Well, we already know that they're here. The fallen ones. Most of the sheep don't get it yet. They're still thinking that maybe somewhere out there there's something when it's already here. See, missing that vital part, that's where they get them. It's like hook, line, and sinker. Once you allow that to happen because you did not do the research and take the time to know that it's even written in the good book that they're here, they did not hide that much from you. Okay? The fact that these things are here is not hidden from you. It is written in the holiest of scriptures and told in more than that. It's told in stories around the world outside of the Bible that repeat the same thing. Look at the Vedas. Look at the ancient Indian text from India talking about war in the heavens and these aircraft that they flew in. It's all been written before. But because people couldn't wrap their head around it, it had to be a fairy tale, right? Anyhow, they're dropping breadcrumbs. And as I've said before, it's in my belief they're setting the stage for a battle with the righteous ones. With the return of the Most High. With the return of righteous ones. It's what the Mayans called the return of the gods. We are in that window of entering Galactic Center. You see, and have been ever since it was mentioned back in 2012. Okay, on a galactic scale, we're going to be there for a minute. Just now entering this phase. And what about entering the age of Aquarius? What did Yeshua say about the water bearer? We sit in a very interesting time, and they may be setting the stage here for a show in space. And look at this. I put out a video on this. The U.S. Space Force accuses Russia of testing weapon-like anti-satellite devices in orbit. Salutes Vegas Blaze. Think on that. I'd love to do it in the flesh, but I guess whatever's whatever. Good idea, though. Talking about a knowledge conference on Zoom or something. We'll have to get something together for all the cats. We got to do something. We can't be afraid to come together still. You have to understand this too. With all this control right now of social distancing, this is a big magic trick. You understand the top of a Kabbalah tree is the crown. Like the crown in England that runs the whole thing. Crown, corona is crown. This is the corona crown virus. It is it is the top tier of what is being rolled out. We've talked about this deeply. Okay, so this is a global push, as you can see. It's not just one person, one group, one government even involved. This is whole countries, and many of them all around the globe, all in on the same thing. Same page, every step of the way. Okay? In the meantime, they set us up acting like we're always on the edge of war with Russia, China. They did the same thing back in the day until all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Russia and China teamed up and they won World War II. That's how powerful those two countries are together. They offset the whole global scheme. You can't have wars if those two are buddies. They figured that out at the end. They were so dominant, they smashed everything. You know, Stalin was driving American cars. Him and the American president sat there for hours watching parades and all this stuff. He bought everything American. It's insane when you look back at this stuff. They are the red, white, and blue. They are the twin of us out there. They are the only other huge Christian nation like us, so to speak, on the face of the planet. Red, white, and blue. Yeah, they got that eagle too, with the golden furrow around it that leads back to Rome. Jesuit control. You heard me. Illuminati motherfuckers. I pick and choose my cuss words, baby. So when I'm popping off shots, it's for a reason. At these SOBs. They need to get it. They need to get it. See, some of us ain't afraid. We'll take it out here to the streets. We'll take it till we don't care. We don't care. Everybody can sit on your couch. You watch Real Riders come and go. Okay? That's on you. When you're left on your lonesome out there, just know some of us done came and we hit these streets and we're riding, baby. Okay? And no, it ain't all going to be divulged out here on the interwebs or the listening. So you got that twisted too. This is why I keep telling you, you have to meet the flesh. You've got to get together underground. For those of you that are not listening, you're going to be left in the dark. Because shit's happening. Let me tell you how many people's flooding to this state. It's insane. What's happening? It's happening. It's happening. It's insane. People are on the move, man. They're leaving states. They're coming to my own very state en masse. People I don't even know. Some that I do. Close buddies. It's getting surreal. I love it though. It tells me it's happening. It's the only other way that I can put it. All right, going through some of these headlines here. The FAA issuing emergency directives to Boeing, saying that corrosion on the 737 aircraft could cause twin-engine failure. So we've seen these things have mass issues. I just want to throw it out there. There's always a lot going on, but for those that like to fly, something to think about here in terms of Boeing, the 737s, and these engine issues once again. You know, we live in a day and age where they have technology where we can be flying around like the Jetsons. I truly believe that. But we're not going to see it because of what? Control. And it's always about that. These control freaks will never give us that kind of technology, and that should piss you off. If you ever even want your children to live that life and have a chance and override this evil, the only way they're going to use this technology is to their advantage, AI to their advantage, and to tap it into mankind, and in the process, eliminate us slowly, to take you out of the picture, just like they're doing fiat currency right now in coins. You notice what they're doing with the coins, right? There's signs up everywhere, and I know you've all seen them. Realize this, they're not giving out coins anywhere. Okay, even at those banks like in Wisconsin where they're buying them for more than what they're worth for the first time in history. But guess what? If you go in that bank and you go to get something, they're not going to give you any change. They're going to say, there's a change shortage. We're trying to buy change. And then everybody falls back asleep and they're like, oh, okay, I got some in my pocket. Here you go. And they sell it to them, right? Is anybody freaking realizing that they're not giving any change out? Why are they buying it? They should be buying it to use it, to give it back. Hello? They're keeping it right in front of your effing face. They are removing coins from this nation right in front of your face. Because when this barter system comes into play, they don't want you using them. When they collapse this system and they move this whole thing, which is coming in the offing, to all blockchain in the offing, they don't want you using a coin system that you already know how to use and using it for the same amounts and everything else. It defeats their purpose. They're wiping it out right in front of your face. We are in them times, baby. We are there right now. Oh, yeah. A little bit different than it was even a year ago, 3 years ago, any of those times. We are in the thick of it, baby. It started. This beast has shown its fangs, and everyone that thought that this was a conspiracy before are like, oh, crap. This is real. They see it. Even though they ain't fully awake, they got one eye open peeking. And they see it. They see it. Betcha, baby. So, I'm done. I spent a decade trying to fucking wake people up. If you can't wake up in that decade, I don't know what to tell you. Now it's time for war, baby. Okay? We're at war. You can bitch out, stick your head in the sand, wait for others to get killed in front of you before you get up and do something. The rest of us are riding. This is where our energy is getting focused on. Survival, tactics, keeping this country cemented where it should be, on our Constitution, righteously. And sometimes patriots got to shed that blood to make it happen. Okay? And I ain't afraid. Do I want to die? No. I promised tonight I wouldn't talk about them killing me. So I'm not going to say they're going to kill me. Okay? But, they're not going to kill me. There we go. I'll turn it there. Words are very powerful. So they're not going to kill me. They're not going to execute me in the street tomorrow in Louisville in front of everybody. A sniper from the rooftop. And if they do, make sure you check the caliber round because it probably definitely came from one of their guns. It will not be a lone shot from this group. Thank you, Net Donna. No. It'll be these federales that are listening tonight. You punk-ass bitches that took an oath to serve and protect this country. Yet you ain't doing it. That's why we're in this situation, you fools. You'd rather go out here and set traps on the American people and strip freedoms, you bitch-made motherfuckers. You sold us out, and you're the reason. Because people are sitting on their couches waiting for white knights to save the day. You're the ones that should be doing it, and you ain't! How about them apples, partner? Yeah, I'll meet you on the other side when God's judging us, and I'll bring the same story up. I was sitting there waiting. Yeah, fool. What side was you really on? See, you know in your heart. Some of you know in your heart you're on the wrong side. The line is being drawn, son. It's being drawn. And when this vaccine gets here, it ain't going to be like no effing mask. Some of you bitch maids out there trying to enforce the law on this mask because you're a hoe. Okay? That's what you are. You're a bitch. You ain't got no fucking balls. You ain't gonna stand for your people. You bitch out and you're a yes man. That's what you are. That's what you are. You're a hoe. And I don't want you anywhere around me. I want real sheriffs, real men and women that are gonna ride for this country, for our Constitution. Not listen to these politicians and you're gonna go out there and do what you know is wrong. That's what's bullshit. You're sitting there pushing something, and you're trying to justify it in all these videos out there, and you can't. You're fumbling on your words, you're flip-flopping all this, and people are shocked. They're like, what year is this? Am I in America anymore? Are you kidding me? And yes, you are. Welcome to the Gestapo. That's where we are right now. And it's only that way because people that took an oath to serve and protect us are treating us like fucking animals. Pisses me off. You don't like it. You don't like the way I talk. Get the fuck out of here, dude. This is for big boys. Lace them up. We're in a war. Go back to sucking on mommy's nipple or some shit. This is big dog shit. Cats like me couldn't make it back tomorrow night. Alive, breathing. Do any of you put your ass on a line like that out there? Do any of you even give a damn? Huh? People can make time for vacation. But you can't make time for your country? Fucking bullshit. Sick of your excuses. So yeah, when you watch a handful of real riders get mowed down out here by federales from rooftops, that's because we ain't have no one meet up. We ain't have no one ever show up. take to these streets across the country, city after city after city after city. A salute to all the ones that do show, the handful. You are the few. You are the remnant that I come to find. And I thank you. I love you. I ride for you. It's all for you, baby. We all check out different times, but I see you on the other side. Okay? You gotta drop the fear. I told you before, I've made peace with death. I'm not afraid to die. And when you drop that fear, what are you gonna do? Live your last days? You think this is gonna get better? Are you getting any younger? Any better opportunities coming up? Huh? I don't see no other America like Atlantis rising up out of the ocean for us to all go run to, huh? No, it ain't about running. It's about fighting for what is ours, for what others, your forefathers, already fought and died for. Right here, baby. I ain't going nowhere. Fucking running to Peru. I ain't running up into Canada. Running out fucking Mexico like some bitch. I'm ride and die right here, motherfucker. Fuck all you hoes to do it. You're hoes. You ain't riding for nobody. I'll sit here and scream it to the end. You got it twisted, baby. Somebody come through repping. Right? Man, wish I could ride a horse down the streets tomorrow in Louisville. That'd be dope. Anybody got a horse? Anybody shows up in Louisville with a horse tomorrow, I will ride that thing down the street. They may look at me like, what is he doing? But I mean, is that going to be any crazier than a whole huge militia with guns and people's eyes going down the streets? I don't think so. So, you know, I'll ride that horse. I'd love to ride a horse. It's that time. Yeah. It's given a power. White horse with a bow. Twitter stocks soar on the news of 20 million users. You tell me how easy it is after you've been hacked and your stocks have dumped to go up and create some fake accounts and inject 20 million people, 20 million fake accounts onto your own thing and then say, we've had 20 million new users. Now, why of all times would 20 million new users go flooding onto this piece of crap platform that is garbage, and you know it? That censors us, that removes stuff, that just outright tells us, well, we're going to do this, we're going to censor this, and nothing you're going to do about it. All right, this is what they also said. They admit that the hackers read private messages of 36 VIP users in a massive breach. They hope that only one elected official is among them. They hope. Didn't we tell you? I think Titus was saying it too. What about them DMs, baby? When it comes down to what was in them DMs and the information that was captured, screenshotted, and everything else, that's golden. That little 100-some thousand that they're chasing around from these Bitcoin accounts, that ain't nothing. That was just for the show, okay? Because these guys, I feel, have major dirt. And big boys will pay big money on some bribes behind the curtain before something gets out. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. That's why they do it. That's why they do it. And they also do it to control people. This is why Epstein Island was loaded with spy cameras all over. Same old Mossad tactic. Blackmail them. You've got them in your pocket. Okay, so it's no different than any Masonic club the same way. Anyone that is running along these satanic lines here, they all start with blackmail. Skull and bones, they had put them in the coffin. George Bush, John Kerry, they did it. They put them in a coffin naked. Had to tell of all their sexual devious stuff. Tiger Diesel in the house, man. Salutes, was talking to Mock about you tonight. Hopefully I get to see you in the streets. So shout out to Tiger Diesel. Anyone else in KY that want to meet us tomorrow in the flesh? I'll be right there. You see this blue, this shirt right there? I got one, same color. It says Dabu 7 across the front. You ain't gonna be able to miss me. Them same shades. I'll be working around the crowd. So you find the crowd, you find the march. You're gonna find me lurking on the wings. I am a bit iffy about some staged event. And, what looks to be some honkies, some undercovers rolling up in a corner and then open up some shots. That'd be a worst case scenario there. At this thing, I'm hoping we see none of that tomorrow. But we gotta keep our eyes peeled and hope that nothing stupid like that pops off. Anyhow, real quick in sports, that's people get a kick out of this one. Oh, Mike freaking Tyson getting back in the ring in a real fight against Roy Jones Jr., which is another beast in boxing. I know some of you probably are like, woo, you don't care, you don't give a damn. Well, for some of you out there that do like fighting, I just thought it was worth mentioning. It would be hilarious if he got knocked out. This because I feel so many people would think that he would just take out Roy Jones Jr. And Roy Jones Jr. ain't to be slept on. He went a whole lot longer. And what is it? Roy Jones Jr. 51, Tyson's 54. Tyson, they're 3 years apart. Yet Tyson retired 15 years ago, and Jones just retired in 2018. So Jones is in way better shape and looks younger, leaner. But you get caught with the Mike Tyson hook, and it's night. So they're doing it for money, as the whole game's set up for. Those two guys that see a chance to make money, and they're doing it right now. Is how I see it. Another group of people that likes to make money off you is the government. And mind you, hand sanitizer was something that was bought up in mass at the beginning of this year when this whole thing broke loose. And now they're another recall here for Optimus Instant Hand Sanitizer. So check it if it's in your car, in your emergency bag, if you're using it. They say the potential presence of this undeclared methanol. Methanol has been the big problem that we've seen with this time and time again. All right, the next stimulus check is to be released. The next stimulus package is to be released next week. So for everyone that was wondering, they did not give an update to the unemployment, or for those that have been getting the $600 a week all the way up to now, that's ending. And I'm telling you, that's about to create a nightmare for a lot of people. Okay? For a lot of people. A lot of people have been dependent on that. A lot of people have been like, cha-ching, like, boom, this came through. Well, other people didn't see nothing. So it's been mixed. And from what I'm reading here now, this next stimulus may damn well be pretty much just like the last one. It'll match the last one. So what they'll try to do is go off your last tax returns. One difference would be, though, is if this last time you didn't have your taxes done in time or yet, and they went off 2018's, but you've had your taxes done since then, since the last stimulus check, and if they go back and they're going to go off of something, they're going to go off of the 2019's. Now. So it would be a little different. So if you might have claimed another kid or didn't, or back and forth with someone like that, it's going to make a difference there. Is what I'm saying on the stimulus. So they haven't gave full details, but so you know, the next stimulus package said to be released next week. So I'll keep you guys posted on that Monday, Wednesday over on DLive exclusive. All right. We have Mrs. Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago. This is a woman that came out and that had stated that, all about the NWO. All about the New World Order. And she says this stuff. This isn't conspiracy, nothing. She said it. It came out of her own mouth, out of nowhere. It shows who she's aligned to and with and for. And obviously Chicago's hell. It has been. With the shootings and everything going down. Well, she tried to play hardball. Trying to say, oh no, she's not going to allow federal troops in there. But then all of a sudden, one little talk with Trump on the phone, and federal troops are all over the place. Ladies and gentlemen, we're living in unprecedented times where federal troops are being used across this country to snatch people up and haul them off in vans. And if you want to sit on one side and be like, oh, they're lefties, fuck them. Well, that's pretty foolish, because from what history shows me, and experience shows me, is when these motherfuckers come through and they kill one side and they're all gone, Who do you think they're going to turn their guns on? That's right. So it's not wise to be cheering them on, taking out our own people, period. Shout out to those stay fighting the fight to separate this left-right paradigm, to crush it, this Hegelian dialect, to let people see that they're playing both sides here. When you can wake people up to that, you know, that's an achievement. You can get them there, it's pretty good. Okay? Then they know we're just getting played. You're not listening to none of the crap they're saying at that point. You know we're getting lied to left and right. And what she just allowed, basically after saying it's not going to happen, was federal troops to run up in her town. The same thing happened in Portland. They got them set up outside of Seattle right now. They did the same thing in Philadelphia, in other cities. The craziest thing are these are federal police in military garb rolling up in minivans, dude. Oil field, much love. So, I'm telling you, we live in unprecedented times right now. This is everything we ever warned of for years. Gray state. Rest in peace, Crowley. See you soon. Antonio Subata Jr. announces plans to create a new conservative movie studio to escape the socialist blacklisting of conservatives or people on the right, or however you want to put it or see it. People that are not seeing it like the left socialist mind frame is right now. He's saying that people are just not getting movie roles. They're not getting casted in this and that. And as soon as you bring up Hollywood, period, it brings up the occult black magic. That's what it's all based off of, period. Down to the word Hollywood, the Hollywood stick. Look it up. Do some research. You'll see that. Notice he doesn't even say a conservative Hollywood. He makes sure he leaves the word out. Which is one thing that's good. He says movie studio. Okay, so this is an interesting move. If they do this, I'd like to see something build here that would be successful without satanic roots. Let's just put it there. But if you get in there and there's brotherhoods and there's all this other shit going on and there's something that's not right, well, then it's the same old song and dance. Okay, so all you could do is feel it out and kind of see where it goes, how it all shakes out, and hope that cats can end up really being righteous. But most of the people that have gone into Hollywood have already danced with the devil. To get the big name, they had to sign on the dotted line to sell that soul. And it's no secret. It's real deal. Any household name that you know that's been in movies, shows, entertainment, music, they've all done it. Even your favorites, man. It sucks, I know. Trust me. I know. It sucks. It's just gotten worse throughout the decades. It wasn't as bad until, I feel the 90s, when they brought in the whole rap game movement and basically controlled every aspect of it. The whole alphabet gangs did. Everything from Lil Wayne to Birdman. Everything that they pushed of the mouth kissing and all that stuff in front of their audiences. Dropping their seeds. I mean, Birdman has the pentagram, I believe, on his head. Right there. Some of these news stars are not hiding it. I seen a young guy a month ago. It was a quick TikTok clip somebody shared on Twitter or something. They were like, look at this. And it was this star saying, all right, I'll admit it. I took it in the Birdman got me. I did it for the contract. And he's sitting there going on and on and on about this, like what he did for the contract to sign. That he let him run up, And it's like, this game is sick and twisted. And that's how they work and operate. And I'm hoping to see something come along that has that removed. You feel me? Offer someone that wants to do a little bit of acting the opportunity, but without having to sell their soul. I mean, how much is that to ask for? But we live in a world where, unfortunately, it's controlled by dark people. But on to the next one here. Trump signs executive orders promising a massive wave of cuts here in prescription drug prices. So we'll see. We'll see just how this rolls out how it affects the pocketbooks of Americans. Executive orders he's popping off left and right anymore. But trying to tell you that we're in an age that's shifting. And here we go again. I just said the other night that it was unprecedented. They announced that banks can now hold crypto. Banks. Every bank on the block can hold crypto now. And they can hold crypto wallets. This is a game changer. And as you can see here, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, they're changing their tune on Bitcoin and crypto right at the same time. I'm telling you, the engine's primed. The thing's going to blast off. It's going to. Okay? It's a bunch of head fakery when it comes to this realm. I'm telling you, but everything's ready. What's Schiff saying? Oh, the end of the dollar standard. No way. Well, sure enough. This is where we are at. This is where we are at. They're just telling you. They're pulling the coinage out right in front of your face. Even the not accepting dollar bills starting at the self-checkouts at Walmart. Next to it will be all of them. Okay? And the sheep will take it because they're doing it slowly. I'm telling you, there's a big event coming in the offing. One big event that's going to serve as the official push it over the edge. Let's hope it's not a cyber attack on the market, something crazy. They've got something coming. Okay? To end the dollar. And to make sure that you're not using those coins and everything. I'm telling you, they're trying to sweep it up right now. As much as they can. All right, moving on to some other news here. Chinese consulate in Houston. It was brought to my attention that the Japanese were caught doing this right before Pearl Harbor. They were caught burning documents outside the consulate the exact same way they watched them do it at this one. And I'm like, what are you saying? Yeah, and I'm just, it was almost like a just saying, but it's kind of ironic. And they shut down the consulate, they evict the staff, and then China turns around and threatens the same. That they're going to start shutting down the Great Tribulation. I'm sorry, I read it in the chat off YouTube and it caught me off guard. I feel like we're in it. Can't tell you the exact day it started. But that moment when you kind of feel like, yeah, I'd say we're in it. I think we're there. This energy in the air, this Luciferian energy that everyone now feels because they're putting it upon everyone, it's there. And what helps carry this? All their statues, their obelisks, they do. That's what they're there for. They didn't get toppled when all the other statues got toppled, did they? No. They're still working, fully functional. People are blind to it, man. Tesla tried to tell everybody, but of course they shut him down, and you see what happened with him. Trump also just canceled the GOP convention. This has got to be one of the wildest, craziest election years I've ever lived through. Reported on. We were expecting to be covering the RNC on the ground. All kinds of protests. This time last year. DNC the same way. Inauguration, we were planning on going up there and doing DC, but everything's changed. They shut down the RNC from Charlotte. They said they were going to move the main action down to Jacksonville. Now he said, nope, we're not doing that. I'm glad we didn't book hotels and go out of our way. And I was just talking to B about this earlier. We had a good intuition on this one where something just kind of told us, scrap it. And we did. And thank God. We weren't planning on doing it. It's something we just thankful we knew ahead, and that was solely the spirit right there, the gut feeling on all that. It's not happening now. So Dude, this is insane. No rallies. It took an atmosphere like this to get Creepy Joe up to the front. It would have never happened without this atmosphere. And you know it. So many distractions going on right now. And some can argue this is a distraction, that's a distraction. Well, everything can be called a distraction. Okay? When people say that, I mean, anything and everything can be a distraction. Okay? Every day there's so much news going on. Just pick one. It's all a distraction if you want to say that. What's the distraction? How much time you spend in it? But don't you need to know what's going on? To use discernment? Now, some people don't use discernment. You have to use discernment. You have to be able to separate the good from the bad and keep on pushing. As this says, land of the free, home of the brave? Question mark. It says most Americans, especially conservatives, as it say, admit that they're afraid to say what they think. You either use it or you lose it. You exercise your right or they will take it. These devils, they will. Okay, so for all the people that have been sitting on the couch, waiting for some white knights, done told you, it ain't happening. This is going down different. You're going to have to be proactive, and you're going to have to find out that you've got to be the change that you seek. Truly. You're going to have to get out here and carve your own way out, get your own plan together, pick a place where you're going. These are the things that you need to do. I'm not saying you pick up the gun, go to war tomorrow. No. I'm saying you ain't even had a plan this whole time. You ain't even thought of where you're going to go. Much less even got any supplies or what they call a bug out bag. You wouldn't want one of them. You'd look crazy, wouldn't you? Well, now you're thinking about it. You need to. Because right now you're realizing this isn't all conspiracy bullshit. Not to mention, I'd say 9 times out of 10, every time they wanted to call something a conspiracy in the past decade, it came true. So who was the fools? Oh, and them ain't chemtrails, are they? Contrails still, huh? Like I said, people are waking up. But in terms of waking people up, we're switching gears here. Spent a decade waking people up. Now, it's time to shift gears into a different realm. A different gear of survival. Of action. Of where you put your energy. Okay? Well, let's talk about this crap here for a second. With inflated numbers through the roof, we've admitted it over and over, and here we go again. Another main headline. Florida's COVID-19 cases spike, right? Hold on a second. It includes gunshot deaths, motorbike accidents, and this is ridiculous. And this is the justification you're going to sit back and watch day in and day out, week after week? You're going to accept this, knowing that it's lies? I swear. It's, shout outs to everybody that steps up, for everybody that fights back. The answer is getting up and getting proactive. Someone wanted to be a smartass earlier and say, well, I hear a whole lot of doom and gloom, but I hear about no fucking answers. Well, okay, dipshit, tune into the fucking streams and don't be a part-time subscriber and actually show up to the fucking meetings when we do this shit. Okay? You think we all like to do this? I've done this every Friday night for how many years? Sacrificed my Friday night for a decade. Okay, I don't spend it in a bar, going out, going to a fucking ball game, all this shit. I spend it on a mission. Fighting a fight. What have you sacrificed? What some of you need to ask yourself. You need to look inside back. What have you put toward this fight? Because someone's going to ask you, and it ain't going to be me. It's going to be the Most High on checkout time. What did you do to help your people? It says right here, you better help your neighbor. You better not turn on him. Okay? What'd you do to fight the fight? Huh? You don't want to hear those words, I never knew you. That's when you die that second death and your energy's gone. That's the death you don't want to die. Okay? You better get that right. This is material, and this is the test, and you know it inside. Check this out. Like I just said, we were going to go to the inauguration. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going to no state that's Gestapo. I'll draw my lines. Ladies and gentlemen of Dabu 7, come next year, can't leave fucking Kentucky. I ride or die right here, baby. I ain't entering no state that's pushing Gestapo shit. I ain't even going in stores to push this stuff. Yet the people around here ain't playing this. Okay? Told my old lady, she goes to the store, you tell them you got a medical problem, you're Fourth Amendment right. And she does. She stick to her gun. She goes straight in there. She tells them. She don't even tell them what for. She don't even tell them that it's asthma. She goes, I got a medical condition, I ain't wearing it, and walks in. Okay? So these thugs that are at the door, if the right tactics and words to use, you can bypass them. Okay? They're just dumb thugs sitting there. Okay? If they're dumb enough to be used against their own people, then they're just idiots. You can use them too. Turn the table on them. If they want to use this on them, you can use intelligence to your advantage on them. Okay? Simple words. Know your rights. Know your rights out here. Okay? But if you go to another state, that may not fly. You may go to another state, and the other state may say, nope, over here, if we catch you with that one, it's $1,000 fine. That's what DC's doing. I don't even want to go in that bitch. Nope. Your mandatory mask, shove them up your $1,000 fine. Yep. All that. All of it. Can't you see that this is what they're doing? Everywhere. All over the place. Can't you see that come next year, it's not going to be about the mask. It's going to be about that COVID pass. If you ain't took the vaccine, you can't get in the store. This is real deal, the beginning of the mark of the beast. This is real deal. Here in the next few years, the buying of goods will be cut off on people if you do not have this vaccine. Because first off, you will not be able to enter these places. And then it is slowly trickle down. And they're going to turn your people against you. This is where you better think about where you're at right now. I'm going to stop again right now. And I'm going to tell you that if Lord God had any warning severe to get to all of you here tonight, from Dabu 7 through my body, is to warn all of you that that mark is coming and that you've got a choice to make. The line in the sand is going to be drawn. And you've got a choice to make. It's coming. It's coming. Without a doubt. And when you can't do this, this is going to create an underground. Okay? This is going to create a network. They know this. They can't stop this. Okay? This is where people are going to thrive. This is where the people literally are going to be going underground to escape this. With a bartering system, a trade system, and you're going to want to know who's there. You're going to want to know who's involved, but it's going to be highly, highly kept on lockdown and secret. Nothing will be talked about in terms of location out here on airwaves. Nothing like that. It's going to go back to some good old days type shit. And be prepared for all of you that do not want to take this mark that's coming. The COVID pass is where it's going to start. If you don't take it, you're talking about never going to California again. You're never going to go to D.C. You're never going to the ball game again. Our lives are over in that aspect. They're over. It is gone, dude. Are you thinking about taking that fucking needle? Huh? Unsubscribe and don't you ever come back. Don't let me see you in the streets. Any one of you to take this mark, you put yourself on the other line, on the other side of the line. For me, and all the real riders know that. Some of us going to go down to the end. We ain't taking this mark. And this man right here, Donald Trump, is bringing this to you per the military. Warp speed. So you think about that when you're going to check off Trump against Biden at that Hegelian dialect box. You be thinking how much you get played. This left-right paradigm. It ain't Biden that's bringing it to you, warp speed. It's Trump. It's always the lesser of two evils, you see. Here they make you choose from. All part of the establishment, all part of the game, and you've known this. Okay? So, mandatory masks is where we're at right now. The day mandatory vaccines are ever brought up and mentioned, you know you were living in Armageddon. You know that you were living in the Civil War. You know that you were living in the Revolution. Just because no one said it on TV, no one come running through your town yelling it, Anderson Cooper didn't mention it, just because that didn't happen does not mean that you're not there. Okay? When this happens, you were there. Okay? I want you to realize where you're sitting right now, because this is going to be your last chance to make a move. Please listen to me. I've got friends that are listening here tonight. Family, listen to me, dude. I know some of you are in California and these other fucking places. You got friends, you got family, Michigan, here and there. This is your chance, I'm telling you, to get out now. Get out now. Right now. Right now. You get everything and you go now. Now. I swear to you, when they clamp this back down the next time and they make it all essential, you won't get to fucking Kentucky. You won't make it through one state. You're going to have your papers, and none of you are going to have them because none of you are going to be essential. You see where this is going? This is like Nazi Germany. You're living in it. It's worse. This is the Gestapo. Oh, yeah, where'd all the Nazi scientists go? Here! Operation Paperclip. It's a fact, Jack. Okay? Oh, Prescott Bush was a Nazi. Yeah, all our presidents, Bushes, their daddy, helping the Nazis and all that. Yeah, that's what this thing was built on, corruption. This country was built to bring down. They've admitted it. Just like the towers that you can fold up your money and see smoking. That they put in your predictive programming was going to come down, which you can see. This is the same thing. This is the mother lode. This is the mother of all events. And anyone with the eyes to see can see that every single country that's pushing this on their people is in on it. Every administration, every politician from every government that's pushing this, backing it, is part of this. They've accepted this. Know who your enemy is. These are the same people that are going to take the mark. Majority of them. You betcha. That's what they're testing right now. Thank you, truth. Thank you and much love. This is what they're testing with the masks. Because I know you're all thinking, well, they know that they don't work. It says it right on the box. Why are they doing this? It's control. You're never going to hear it from the TV, man. So people just get over it. Mainstream's never going to tell you the truth. If that's what you're looking for, realize that shit now, man. Unplug. I'm telling you, it ain't never going to come from there. Never. People need to realize that and just soak this thing up and realize it is what it is with this. We are in this position. The only way we're going to get out is to fight our way out of it. If you just sit there and you're docile, they will send cops. They will send federales door to door to get you. And don't fucking tell me they won't, because Trump's sending them across the fucking country right now. Dude, this is unprecedented, dude. We warned you about fucking Jade Helm. It was a conspiracy theory, wasn't it? Ugh! Next is drones. And if you ain't to your chunk of property, if you ain't dug in by the time that happens, it's game over, dude. We got a series of false flags coming, and I'm hoping one ain't tomorrow. In this country. I'm telling you, they're coming. George, salutes. Everybody out there, drop donations if I've missed any. Thank you. Anyone that's hit the PayPal tonight, I want to thank you as well. That's gas money for the Riders Hotel. Money for the Riders. I get down there with me. I have Hoodie Ross with me tomorrow running the streets, which is great. Never know who else. We also use the hotels we get in these towns as a command post and a place to fall back to. You know, if you need to reload your cameras. So, anyhow, just know if you're in D.C. and you get caught slipping, $1,000 fine, and it's mandatory. Don't think so, partners. We'll be seeing you, though. NY's Cuomo calling for a national mask mandate. That's right. Better watch the signs. Sometimes I slip them out there, out of nowhere, in the weirdest ways, quick. But you, those that are listening, you catch them. They're there for you. So Cuomo says the national mask mandate is confronted, and he is confronted with photos, obviously, of himself not wearing it. Well, this is just like Fauci telling everybody to wear it. He goes to this ball game, throws out the opening pitch, throws it in the rafters, but yes, he's sitting up there right next to people, not social distancing, elbow to elbow with his mask off. The hypocrisy is sick. They do it over and over and over. But Cuomo is calling for a national mask mandate. This is taking it national. So you thought that the governor is trying to do all this stuff in each state was this and that with these masks. Now this guy's trying to override it with a federal judge. And I'm not going to name any names, but it breaks my heart. I saw a guy, I guess he leans right. He's a big Trump supporter, no doubt, but he's seen that he was cheering on the feds out there and all this stuff. This federal stuff, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, dude. Like, look who you're freaking cheering for. Look in the mirror. Dude, once I said it before, it's the oldest trick in the book. You take a circle, split it down the middle. You got left, you got right. You go in, you take out one side, and if the other side didn't rise to the occasion to stop you, well, then they're going to turn their guns on you. They're going to take everybody out. If you allow them to come in and take out half the tribe right in front of you, and you're actually cheering it on like idiots, eliminating your people right in front of you, they're going to, when they're done, they turn on you. It's happened over and over again. So, I'm telling you, as soon as they roll out the COVID pass by this next summer and people are ready to go out to the ball game because they haven't been to one in 2 years, people are going to line up for this COVID pass that they roll out, making it look like it's cool. Oh, look, it's got nanotechnology in it. You can go to the store and you can buy whatever with it. They're going to do away with bills on the second wave of this lockdown. All this stuff. Then it's going to open doors for you. It's going to pay it cash out. You ain't got to wear a mask no more. You're free to roll. You're fucking all vaxxed up and you got your chip, you get your nano chip. It's all cool. All your data's on there too. It's got all your biometric information, your bank account information, all that shit. It's all right there on you. You can't lose it. See? That. They're already pitching it. And don't tell me it's not possible because Gates has already got the patent and half y'all know it. And it's 666 on the nanotechnology. We've already talked about this all. It's not a fairy tale. It's real deal. These criminals like Cuomo need to see justice. Period. Let's just say that. Until real people can rise up in their states and take out the corruption where it sits at the highest ranks, ain't nothing ever going to change. So, Trump sends not only federales, but dude, we're getting into tactical units. He sends tactical border officers to Seattle. And now they're sitting up there in Seattle, right outside the city, mounted up. And they're like, if you guys want to try something else again, test us. We're here. Yeah, there's a constitution. And there's rules about using troops on people on our grounds. Okay? They're there for a reason. That's why the National Guard can only do certain things at certain times and this and that. And this is something else that pisses me off. The guy earlier that was a Trump supporter I was just talking about was cheering on a federal judge overriding a state judge in a state. Cheering it on. And I'm like, hold the fuck up. It's not what we want. The federal government should be small and minimal. If you forgot, or were you ever even taught this? The state should have the power. Majority power, call all the shots with just oversight by a small federal government. That is it. That is all that is needed. You've let this swell into a monster. Your forefathers knew this. This is why they made the amendments, the Constitution, all of that. The Bill of Rights. They knew this. It's okay. All right. Moving on. Same thing right there. On standby. Check this one out. Red Cross warning of a wave of migration to countries like ours and others after the lockdowns are let up. And if you ask me, this is staged. Just like George Soros staged. Just like he sent all kinds of people into Europe and admitted it. And just like he's done it over and over again. How many droves and caravans of migrants that they send our way from South America in the past decade through multiple administrations? Well, a lot through the Obama administration. But it was all part of the ploy. Why? Because Joe Biden went down there and told everybody that they'd get in at the border. Sure did. He was on camera saying it. So, oh, yeah, well, if the parrot gets up there and they say that the child's in there, they'll let them in to go look for him. Yes. What? What? We said, what? Oh, yeah, by the way, and once you're in, they'll give you an ID. But you just got to come back and vote for us. You see? See the game? That's the oldest game in the book. And the Democrats, and I'm not choosing sides here, but history will show you. I try to stay in the center as much as possible, but history shows you that they mastered this more than anyone. The Democrats, from way back in the day, this is where they were bringing people into the ghettos, creating ghettos, to bring migrants, to bring people in, keeping them on poor, basically, to where when the day came, they knocked on the door, kicked down the door, and they take them out of there for the vote. Using them for the vote. Same freaking tactic being used today, this day and age. By the same side. You see it in California, in mass, and all these other states, all these illegals. And look, this is a country of immigrants. I get it. But you got to do it legal. If I tried to go to Canada, Mexico, Africa, they're going to send me packing and send me back. If I'm not legit. I can't just go there and plan to stay and not be a citizen and not be accepted or go through the right processes. They're going to kick me out. So what gives anyone the right to come up in my country and just run up in it like it's some hoe laying down on her back? Huh? And just do what they want? I don't think so. They ain't happening around here, partner. As far as I could tell. But even though I feel that way, it is happening. Because why? We've got people allowing it to happen. It's an old trick, man. And it still happens today. Like I said, why do you think Trump just came out and made an executive order saying that they cannot use these illegal migrants for their numbers? It was a counter move. He knew what they were doing, and if you ask me, it was a huge one that didn't get enough attention. He said you're not going to use their head count to get votes, popular, whatever it is. You get so many votes in this election. California gets a bunch because of how much GDP they bring in and all that. How many people you've got in the state, the head count. And they're trying to use this inflated head count with all these illegals, and he pushed the executive order that said, nope, we're going to shave all those numbers off at the end. And they're like, ugh. And it's like, yeah, well, to be honest with you, it should be done righteous anyway. Everything's such a freaking scam and a lie. And you think this election's going to go down the right way with all these mail-in ballots and all the fraud we're already seeing? Get out of here. They're more than likely going to hand this thing to Biden. They're going to throw fuel on the fire. I know you don't want to hear that. I'm preparing for the worst. He will come in for the guns. It will provoke the right hard and heavy. Trump will refuse to leave office because they will say it's rigged. He will demand something happen because they say that it's rigged, and he's going to stay in office until it's done. And if you think I'm crazy, this man has even said it. He has said it, which gives credence to this whole thing. He has said it himself that he would not leave. This is getting crazy. And it's like, did you just say too much, buddy? Did you just give up the plan? Huh? Because you can't say it. Well, they'll do it. They'll provoke the left. But they did that last time. They told the whole world Hillary was winning up to the night of. They sure did, buddy. And they gave it to Trump. Did anything happen the next morning with the left across the country? Nope. Nope. Nothing. What provoking of the left? They didn't do nothing. And thank you and salutes to High Impact Flicks, 380 viewer host over on DLive. That is much appreciated to the fullest. Welcome all the new followers. Shout outs to everybody on DLive and YouTube tonight. If you can't find a copy of my streams, you can find them all over on DLive. There's a bunch of replays there, and you can catch them all. Even if I have a replay playing, you can go down and still watch any other one. But much love to you guys there. We're past the top of the hour here. I try to get this all done within an hour and a half. Plus, I'm getting up early and hitting the road. We'll talk about that here in a second, too. First, here, an update here on Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and this whole thing. A judge authorizes the release of a previously sealed document in this case. So this will get interesting. Anytime sealed documents get unsealed in court and stuff that people were trying to keep out of the light in the courtroom gets brought back up, These are big moves. Sometimes there's explosive stuff in them, and they were sealed for a reason many times because of that. Okay? Sharon, thank you. Thank you to everybody out there that's donated tonight. I'll make sure to load up a good chest for you guys here in just a second on D Live. Once again, all my live streaming from the field will be from D Live tomorrow. All live streaming from Louisville, Kentucky tomorrow for the NFAC event beginning at noon will be on D Live. I repeat, I cannot live stream on YouTube because of copyright. If a car goes by playing music, it's ridiculous. That's why I do not, among other reasons, stream over there anymore. I've just been doing it for years on Friday nights, and it's a tradition, and I'm here every Friday night on YouTube still. So all the rest of my streams, Monday, Wednesday, and any other time, is all on D Live. Usually 9 p.m. Eastern for the shows on Mondays and Wednesdays. And from the streets, it's whenever we're getting it in. So in Portland, where we have these guys getting sent out, I want you to know that the mayor went out and joined these people, trying to gain some love or something here. They still said, you got to go. They were all like, you got to go. So he tried to go out there and sucker up to them, and they were like, nope. Then we had an Oregon judge ban the feds from arresting or using force against journalists and legal observers at the Portland protests. Thank you, Sonic Cat. So, again, an Oregon judge does this. So this is affecting Oregon. You know, you're going to see this happen then in other states. So it's stopping the feds from arresting journalists, which are there to catch the action. It's ridiculous. You know, I got to go through this shit all the time. How many times am I pepper sprayed, maced, all this other stuff? It's ridiculous. And yeah, I'm taking the gas mask with me tomorrow in the streets as well, because as we seen tonight, it's already popping in Louisville. The cops are already kettling people, rounding them up. It was going down. They were clashing. If you missed it, yes, I tweeted out some clips. They're already in town and at it. So I look to be on the ground before noon and live streaming right around noon. So thank you, Silo. And as you can see here, Portland, trashed. The business owners cannot believe what's happened. And I'm going to tell you from experience, a month or so ago when the whole wave hit the country, I was in Louisville when that happened. And I witnessed it right in front of my eyes. They trashed 4th Street Live, destroyed it, every business. Some will never recover. Most of it is boarded up. I'm going to go down by there tomorrow and I'm going to show you what 4th Street Live is looking like. It's sad. What used to be a lively place has been shuttered because of these goons and because no one would come out to help to defend them. Maybe when people see how far this has gone at some point, they'll start to step up. That's my only hope. Then they'll start to go down and defend these people, their neighbor that may have a shop, a hair salon downtown or this and that, or they got the windows busted out and they're coming back tonight. You know, they're threatening to burn it down. You've got to step up, okay? You got to do something. Now, this is where talk of forming a militia comes into play. You got to do something. We have a right to a well-regulated militia here in this country for our rights to bear arms, to protect us from tyrants. We have these rights. Now, sometimes, and thank you, Linda, says stop the face masks, stop the technocracy. Now, much love. The thing with militias is this. We all got the right. So even though sometimes they look ominous, you really got to look at it for what it is. I couldn't tell you how many images or any situation, anytime there's been patriots with guns on the corner anywhere here recently, look at it and people are like, oh. Especially people not used to seeing guns. They see armed men with long rifles on the street corners. Are like, what is going on? Then they're told, they're here for your protection. when people are coming through smashing windows every night in the neighborhoods, and then these guys show up with these guns like this, there's no questions asked. When people see the terror come through the neighborhood and then the militia shows up, it's usually not even questioned. It's usually only questioned when they show up in like a quiet town. Maybe a town that got tipped off that BLM's coming to town this weekend and the militia showed up first. They see them all rolling in. They're like, oh, like what's going on? Questioning it. But if these guys come in afterwards, they're looked at in a different light. I'm telling you. Now, all the talk tomorrow, I'm guaranteeing you, is going to be about stuff popping off here at this event. We know it. It's been building. I'm going to give you some backdrop here. And I try to keep this as fair and as balanced as I can. I give everyone a fair shake. I realize that half these guys out here with this black armed militia, this NFAC, are former military or former police. Many of them are highly trained. They are not looking to have a tarnished image. And they've made it clear they're not coming here for violence, not snatching people out of cars, or anything, even though they have stopped traffic and they've shouted some stuff and demanded this and that. BLM is worse, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Granted, these guys have only really been out in the scene one big time that we know of, down in Georgia, Stone Mountain, where they showed up, and it turned some heads. People were like a huge, long crowd of people dressed in all black, as you can see here with guns. People are like, what is going on? Well, this is a militia. Okay, they have a right to exercise this, but then it comes down to the soul beliefs. What is the ideology? What are they there for? Well, in this instance, they say that they're there to bring attention to the death of Breonna Taylor, and I say, okay, I'm down with that. We do need justice for Breonna. We also need justice for the guy that got murdered at the corner store by the National Guard and the police. If you really want to talk about justice, because he was murdered in cold blood right there standing. He was feeding both of them. He was feeding the protesters and the police. Shots fired off. They lit him up and killed him. Wrong guy. Sweep it under the rug. Act like it didn't happen. Garbage. See, I see these things. I don't forget. I was there when this shit happened. I just left when that had happened. Or just went there after that had happened. One of the two, when I was down there. And this is real. When you go to these events, you take it all in. It's real. When you talk to these people, it's real. When you talk to people's family members, the people that got murdered in cold blood, it's real. This is a real thing. So I get the justice part. We need justice. I get that. We do. There are some crooked criminal cops. We do need that. Okay? I'm good there. But I personally am not on any tip. You will never see Dabu 7 ever in this life, and you can strike me dead. If you ever catch me in the position, you'll never see me forming an all-white anything. Sounds pretty racist just saying it, right? All white. Huh? It's pretty supremacist, doesn't it? Well, it could be said the same thing here. And they're painting that image on their own self by making it all black. Get it? Black. Stand up black pride. I love that. My crew, my family are made of all colors and backgrounds. From Cuban to Mexican to black, the whole nine. I spent my life growing up in the freaking hoods. Okay, so I get it. Okay, but it's also the image you give off. What if it was reversed? What if the Ku Klux Klan or an all-white group came down the other side of Louisville, heading toward them? Would one be any better than the other? If you're going to see me out there, it's going to be with all colors, all groups, how we should be. That's the message we should be sending. We get nowhere divided. Now, my biggest concern about this is a false flag. That someone's going to come in and do something like we've seen in the past that's going to set something in motion that ain't going to be good. All it could take is a staged event of honkies to come up to a corner that is all part of a ploy, pop off 1 or 2 shots, that's all it takes, and all hell breaks loose. That's all it takes. So when I get there, I'm watching all over. Rooftops, all around the bushes. Yeah. And I'm feeling the energy in the air the whole time as well for anything to pop off. And no, I ain't wearing no body armor down there. I'm not going to do none of that. I appreciate people that are asking me to go safe, but I ain't doing it. If anybody's really going to take me out, they're going to take a headshot anyway, and it's going to be over. And it ain't going to be one of them. It's going to be one of the boys, and you know it. Okay? I don't care if he's dressed up like one of them. You know it. I'll call it now if it was to happen. I call it how it is. I got to be real about it. Try to stay away from the death thing tonight, but going into an atmosphere like this, I'm real. Okay? I don't see no one else doing it. Huh? Everybody tell me you can't go here, you can't go there. That's when I go. Okay? Well, look, this is my turf. This is my state. And if someone's going to come up in here and they're going to be marching, I'm cool. I'm down with militias. I'm down with your gun rights. I'm down for justice for Brianna. So you know what? I'm there, right there. But, every man is different. I don't know the leadership that's involved with this. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's questions that fly around the leadership of the man running this. And then this is where everything comes into play. Grandmaster Jay is his name. And this man is the one ordering all these people to do this stuff. Now, he was called out here recently in several videos for several different things. One of them being that he was using stolen valor, so to speak. These guys weren't saying that he wasn't former military, but they're saying that he wasn't what he was claiming to be. And what they were saying was, in some of the videos, he's wearing civilian garb, and it has an insignia on it, military insignia on it, that he's like a level 9 sergeant and all this stuff. Well, that's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. And they called that out. And I've since heard that with militias, it is a thing. Okay? So would you stop and think about that for a second? With militias, when they do their ranking, it all of a sudden does become a thing. It is a reality. Okay? Shout out to Chico. Keeping it real, brought that up to me. And we've got to keep this as fair and as balanced as possible here at all times. Okay, so if something's corrupt, it's going to come out in the wash here. Don't you worry about that. Don't you even worry about that. Okay? People go on to ask this guy simple questions about when it was created, all these other things, and he's refusing to answer. And people are like, well, then who are you here for? If you're here for the public, then be honest with the public. Why are you hiding stuff from the public that you're supposed to be here representing? It doesn't make any sense. People are asking these questions, and some of them are valid questions. Some of them want to ask him to his face, are you working for the man? Just to see a reaction. Straight up. It's an honest question. You can't, in a situation like this, you're going to be foolish to sit there and say, anyone to say, oh, I ain't worried about feds. If someone was to say that, dude, you got a problem. This place is going to be crawling with them. Are you kidding me? Anyone that says any different? Oh my gosh. They're going to be everywhere. Let's just put it that way. So, look. That's pretty much what I got for it. Okay? That's pretty much what we've heard thus far. Oh, and they wanted to say that the military guys were questioning because he was at a shooting range and he was shooting and all of his first shots, he couldn't even hit the paper. So they were questioning what kind of, from 30 yards out, guy that's been in the military can't even hit the white paper. Like, it raised some questions. Then people were asking questions about their guns. A guy was walking around with an active jam. An active jam. Right there. Other people, the guy had a scope on. 100% backwards. It's like, I understand the concern. Okay? But look, this is a double-edged sword when it comes to these things. All I can do is be front and center on the front line and be your eyes and ears, be fair and as balanced as possible. Hopefully meet some cool cats, some great people while I'm out here in the city. If there's any shady shit going on, we figure it out. If there's any undercover crap going down, we snuff it out, and we make it out of there without anything bad going down. Okay, so that's the biggest hope here. So, we shouldn't get freaked out every time that we see militias rise, okay? But they have to be there for the right reasons and truly there for the people. And as I said before, you're going to catch me out here. You're going to catch me out here with squad that comes of all color, because that's what we are, okay? This is about unity, not putting off the message of anything less. Okay? It's going to take every last one of us from every color, from every background, to make this happen against this beast, to win this war. I want to thank you for the prayers out there, everybody. I want to thank you for the donations that people send. Once again, for anyone that wants to support road missions like this, the PayPal is the best, because I can't get the money off these platforms for weeks and months out. The PayPal really helps us in gas money and locking down hotels to make this stuff happen. And I appreciate that to the fullest for those that do it. There are links in the description box in the About section of DLive. There's also links to my Twitter. It's critical that you're following me on Twitter. That's where all my updates go out at. If you're wondering where I'm at, it's 12 noon and I'm late and I'm not live, I'll tweet something out and I'll say, hey, this is what's going on. Regrouping, a little behind, whatever, or whatever's happening. Linda says, do not submit to the elite. Fight the good fight. Jesus is the Lord. Yes, Yeshua, the Most High. All the righteous souls. I pray for their protection, their guidance to get us out there and back safe, to make sure no shenanigans go down that tries to infringe on our freedoms. And hopefully, John Smith says, DLive won't let me create an account. What do I do? But I don't know. It's a good question. And if it doesn't let you create an account, I have no idea, man. I have no idea there. All I can say is DLive's where it's going down. I want to thank everybody here for hanging out. Everybody on YouTube. The streams usually come down so everyone knows. You can catch it in a replay over on DLive. I'll probably just throw a replay on and let this run till tomorrow. There may be a replay running. I don't know. I may shut everything down when I hit the road. That way, when I'm live, I'm live from the streets there. There's no confusion. So, noon, that's the time. There's a link below for the DLive. Go ahead and load up a chest here for everybody that hung out. All right. We've got over 1,000 in the chest. Thank you, Tiger Diesel. Maybe I get to see some of you in the streets tomorrow. Get to meet some more real riders. That's where real talk will happen. So in the flesh, and away from all these electronics. All right, guys, 30 seconds. Opening up the chest over there on DLive. Make sure you guys are following me there. And sorry about that. Just a little bit of a whistle on the mic. Probably blew somebody's eardrums out. Sorry. Checking some of the messages. Shout outs to Daz. Shout outs to Big E. That's Big E. Eric Mullins, much love, my brother. Anyone that wants to go, anyone that can hear my voice right now, if you're on deck and you want to be there and you can make it, hey, every hand on deck that we can get is a plus, but I'm going to be up and out early. Just know that on the road, I look to be there by like 11ish, so I'll be on the road for most of the morning. Craig, Judge Britt, Nikki, Tedessa, Art Queen, much love to all you guys. Make sure to check out High Impact Flicks. It's new over here. Also, Titus Frost, I throw him down a host tonight. Above Ground World News. I threw down a host tonight, but I'm just going to throw in a replay. Thank you, Outlaw. Everybody over on YouTube. Remember, it's going down. D-Live tomorrow. That's where it's at. I can't thank you guys enough. I ask the Most High to be with all of you that need him. Just ask him, and he will be there. You have to believe. That is the secret. You have to believe. I love all y'all. And if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. I'll see you in the streets of Louisville. I want to thank all y'all that send prayers. It's appreciated more than anything. Much love. Forever.